Hello, everyone. Welcome to Telling Tales. Welcome to Warhammer. Apologies for the brief break last week. I've been really excited to get back into Warhammer this week, and we're finally here. I can't wait to see what happens now. Story's really hotting up. Stuff's getting good. Thank you for joining us. So yeah, we're Telling Tales. We stream on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays weekly normally. So Mondays is this. We're on Twitch, by the way, but you probably know that. And Wednesdays is which way around? Wait, I've got it. Wednesdays is Into the Odd at the moment, and Thursdays is I got you before you even posted. I'm on top of things. And Thursdays is currently World of Darkness Wraith, but at the moment things are, I think, off this week, so I think they'll be restarting following week most likely, but we'll see. But Warhammer's on, and I'm so excited. Yeah, so thanks for joining us. And we also post on YouTube, as you may have seen, and we have social media and links down below, so please check them out. We also do one-shots every month. There was one just previous weekend, I think, which was Absurdia, which I know almost nothing about, but looked very interesting. So go check it out and find out what that's about, because I don't know. I mean, you'll have to go find out for yourself. But we aim to do those every single month, usually a different system. So yeah, check those out too. There's tons of content on YouTube now. But it's time to get to the story. Our players found themselves in quite an interesting situation last time. But before we get to that, we'll do some recaps of what happened previous session. And first of all, I'm going to bring on Jonny, our dwarven, now I can say actual smith, because he's qualified smith. How are you doing, Jonny?
I'm good, thanks. Good. Yeah, Okri is very excited to be granted his guild license.
It was a good day, or at least it started as a good day. Why don't you tell us about how the day ended there?
Quite a lot of the day was a good day for Okri. So everybody reconvened at the Gehenna's Goose, where we were staying. There were a bunch of rowdy students playing a game of Keribis, I believe it was called. And they were kind of annoying everybody by being a bit loud and obnoxious. And just as one of them made a rude joke about Sigmar's sausage, the dean of their learning establishment walked in, and they all kind of ran out to avoid any retribution from him. Mm-hmm. So anyway, then the night was kind of dwindling, and the rest of our group headed up to bed. Okri was sort of tidying the table a little when 3 dwarves from the Grey Mountains came in. So Okri kind of greeted them in Khazalid, the sort of native tongue. And they were from Clan Ganvalger. Is that right?
Sounds about right, yeah.
One of them kind of dropped a hint about something, which then made Okri think that we should try and get some more information out of them. So Okri headed up and kind of dragged everybody else back down. Mm-hmm. And through some sort of cajoling with the offer of drink and struggling to wake one of the dwarves especially up, mm-hmm. The group and these dwarves kind of kept the tavern owner in business probably for the next year or so, and had some conversations managed to get some info out of them about what they were doing, which was that there had been something found at Skazmingol, which I believe they said was something dark had been found, and that there was a treaty with the lords of Grunberg and Diesdorf. Mm-hmm. And it was kind of the old treaties had been called in to that's why these dwarves were heading there to assist with whatever was required
of them. Skazmingol being one of the kind of old holds in a mountain not far from Grunberg. So yeah, interesting they've been called back.
And then the night ended with kind of an agreement that we may reconvene tomorrow to discuss things further, but also me managing to roll 2 100s out of 3 dice rolls, I think.
On your consume alcohol roll.
I made a consume alcohol roll, rolled 100, used a fortune point to fix that, and then on the next consume alcohol roll, rolled another 100. So Okri had a drink and then kind of threw up directly back into the glass. And the dwarves kind of looked mildly disappointed and suggested that we call the evening to an end. So Okri's fantastic day ended in a bit of disgrace.
Indeed. I think then you snuck back up to bed, wondering if you'd caught their attention on the way back up, and then everyone settled down for sleep. I think Boniface quite gladly at this point, after having been kept up with everyone else drinking all night. And next we'll bring on John, I believe, who will talk about what happened in the morning.
Hello.
Hey, John. So John playing Henrik, our rat catcher. And you're also going up in the world as a rat catcher, aren't you? Doing pretty well for yourself now.
Yeah, I'm going up. It's surprisingly, rat catchers go up surprisingly high.
Yeah.
I'm now officially a rat catcher.
So as opposed to... Oh, yeah, what was the one before? Just
rat hunter.
Rat hunter. Oh, now you actually catch them rather than just trying to catch them. That's the big difference.
Or maybe it's now I can take them alive.
I see. Okay.
Anyway, as we woke up in the morning in various states of hangover, Kruger had found like a crudely written note shoved under his door with a bunch of ink spatters and just weird handwriting saying to meet him under the docks after sundown. And we went...
If they wanted to know more.
Yeah, we went, well, that's weird and suspicious. Let's do it. We'd all decided to go and have basically a shopping day and maybe scout out the docks beforehand, but mostly to go to market. But Henrik broke off from everyone else to go and pay his tithes at Ranald's shrine in the docks, coincidentally, where he struck up conversation with a very nice / not nice fellow called Brandon, who offered to do a favor for a fellow Ronaldian, which was very honorable of him. I'm sure the things he's offering aren't very honorable, but the offer was very honorable.
Indeed. And it's worth saying you were going to Ranald's shrine as well, because you made a pretty penny, actually, didn't you? A fairly exceptional amount of money from that rat catching job, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Doesn't matter
how much.
A good amount of silver.
It was something like 19
silver. It would have been
19 silver.
Yeah. Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Anyway, next we'll bring on Justin, who plays Boniface, young, idealistic, perhaps naive servant. Do you feel like I always do Boniface a disservice when I introduce him?
No, I just dislike the word idealistic. You know, he's the only ruthless one. You know, he routinely wants to. You know, he's cut that word out.
I'll cross it off my notes. I won't say it anymore. Ruthless. Change for ruthless.
Thank you. It was a good session. We decided in the end that we were going to head down to the market for the afternoon, as we know, and the whole time Boniface really felt like he was being watched by something, although no one could quite roll high enough to work out what was watching us. And basically, we weighed up some shopping decisions and bought some practical things like pots and pans, and generally just enjoyed the market before Henrik turned up afterwards and bought a leather jacket that Boniface had been eyeing up particularly.
Specifically, I think it was the same one in the shop window that Boniface had been eyeing.
I mean, I imagine, yes, yeah.
without showing anybody,
Mm-hmm.
in a very Henriky sort of way. And then, well, to bring us to the evening and the interesting events at the end of the day, let's bring on Steve, who plays Kruger, our kind of Middenlander, who Boniface is the servant of, who's also kind of a soldier, and recently got himself a breastplate too. He's done quite well for himself as well.
Yeah, and a nice new Warhammer. Well, it's not
Indeed.
new. It was repurposed, upscaled, upcycled.
Yeah.
So we went along to this meeting place. We'd had a discussion beforehand, and it was decided that perhaps it would be best if Ockery and Kruger went together and scouted the place out, and Henrik and Boniface would sort of hang back a bit, keep an eye on things, keep a lookout for anybody that might be approaching or exits that we might want to use, things like that. It was very dark. It was this meeting place was taking place under sort of wooden piers, so it was dark and damp and pretty unpleasant. Kruger was having a bit of a time seeing because it's dark. He had a torch, but was also wearing this new helmet he'd got, which reduces his perception by 10 points, and it wasn't great to start with. So, but Ockery spotted this sort of disturbance on the ground, which turned out to be a rather unfortunate and disappointing pit trap. They've been hastily dug, slowly filling with water and with bits of sort of sharp, rotten timber in it. A pretty poor do, really. It wasn't very. The workmanship was pretty shoddy.
Yeah, you probably would describe falling in that as unpleasant.
Yes, not top of my list of things to do this evening. So yeah, I think Ockery and Kruger. Well, I certainly sighed deeply. We readied our weapons, and at that point, there was a distant echoing voice and splashing footsteps. And I mean, you should really do the voice, Sam. I think.
I was going to say I was going to start the session with it, so there you go. I'll repeat that exact moment again once we start the session, if you like, which we'll do in just a moment. But yeah, thank you for that little intro. Before we do, there's a couple of wee little things I wanted to mention, just because they might be significant to folks. First of all, Carrick Ziflin is the Carrick the dwarves from, not Carrick. In case anyone's feeling like being really, it's actually in the corner on the map, or one of the maps that you had, Steve. So I was like, oh, that's quite cute. So you can be noted. Don't know if it's visible now. The other little thing was I want to retcon, or from now on, we're going to make sure we use the proper damage thing, which is skill levels in an opposed test. So you have a minus and plus. So if your opponent rolls 2 successes and you roll 5 successes, you'll do 3 bonus damage. We forgot to have the opponent's effect upon that damage point. And the other thing that's quite cool, actually, which I'm going to include from now on, is that I've kind of got it before, but it's worth mentioning because it's a really nice mechanic in this game. The wound system is intended like fatigue and bruises and kind of loss of hope in combat rather than pure injury. I wish it wasn't named wounds, but whatever. And the actual damage, real damage, is critical hits. It's just something to bear in mind for like narrating, but also effect upon your characters and things like that. And only if you hit 0 wounds are you guaranteed to get at least a critical hit, sort of thing. So we'll have that in future with all combat as well, with NPCs as well, if they're important enough to get critical hits rather than just being killed. But yeah, I thought it was worth mentioning just because the system's quite cool, if sometimes a little difficult to get your head around all the little bits of. Anyway, back down to the docks. Yeah, so we are underneath the piers of the river Turfel. I think it's the river Turfel. Yes, one of the tributaries of the Reich that goes through the middle of Grunberg. It's quite a wide river, so in the dark you probably can't see the other side of it from where you are. It's equivalent of being on the coast under these docks. Maybe you're even, or at least perhaps Kruger, being quite a tall man, is perhaps slightly crouched underneath the piers as they are. Ockery is probably about the right height for you. And yeah, it's dark, it's grim, it's wet, it's mucky under boots. You've just come off kind of a little wooden bridge where this kind of hole was in front of you, this pit was in front of you. And yeah, you've heard this voice coming from, you can't see where, somewhere in front. And I think Henrik and Boniface are a little way behind, so I think I'll make them do a roll to see if they hear the voice. But the voice precisely said, Stupid thing's supposed to be dead. And then make a roll, please, Henrik and Boniface, to see if you hear the yelling, which is a little distance away. For Kruger and Okri's sake, it doesn't sound like it's right on top of you. But yes, you were correct about the footsteps. Something's moving, whether it's away or towards. Can't really tell.
I would go
What's
with
ahead of us?
no.
Okay. Yeah, it'll be a standard, so no modifier. It's quite tough from where you are.
Yeah, do not hear that.
I botched.
Okay. Henrik, you're actively distracted, so I'm going to give you a negative to roll for the next awareness thing.
Rinda,
I don't know.
sit down.
Maybe you saw an actual rat. But you're like, now's not the time, but you're kind of half tracking where the rat's moving and not paying attention. Sorry, one of you asked me a question then, did you?
I said the footsteps. You said we can't tell if they're coming towards us or away, but they're ahead of us down.
Yeah. So to describe where you are, so on your left-hand side is kind of the old stone wall of the kind of the edge, the bank of the river, if you see what I mean, where it is in town. And then you've trying to you're at the drop down below that, so the river's quite low at the moment. So it's kind of the mucky bank of the riverside that's underneath the docks. And there's like 5 foot or so of clearance underneath that. And on your right-hand side is the river, a little bit away from you. And you're kind of on a little bit of wooden plank that's just over one of the muckier areas. It's just mucky and horrible. You maybe got about like, a couple of yards of bankside here between that rock wall and the river, if you see what I mean. So you've only really got in front and behind that you go, and the voice is from in front. That's kind
and
of
also the pit trap is in front of us as well, and is quite 10 foot wide.
Yeah. So 10 foot wide is most of the width of the thing, isn't it? So yeah. So it'll be a little bit of a challenge to get past. Certainly that pit trap.
But the other point is that it's a defensible position. I think
that's exactly what Kruger was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okri, you have the dark vision or night vision, whatever it's called. You can give me a perception roll. I'm going to leave it as standard because it's pretty tough, but you're kind of staring ahead to try and see what's going on.
Yeah, my perception isn't that good in spite of my dark vision. So.
Well, you can do it. Kruger can't do it because he doesn't have the dark vision.
Yeah, I've got 31 perception. I rolled 27.
Very nice. So in the distance ahead of you, you can see a figure. They're not running towards you, but they're kind of like running, kind of walking quickly along the wall. But they seem to be coming towards you, and the figure doesn't look human, or dwarf, or halfling, or another good species.
By walking along the wall, do you mean like?
No, they're on the ground. They're just kind of against the wall.
What is the width of the gap between the pit trap and the wall?
There's a few feet on the edge.
Okay.
So someone could walk by, but only like one at a time, probably.
Kruger. Figure ahead, moving down the wall. I'll move over towards the wall to kind of be at the gap.
Mm-hmm. And I'll be looking around kind of like, I can't see anything.
They're clearly moving, so they can't be seen. Like if they were out in the open, as far away as they are, you could clearly see them. Even Kruger could probably see them, but they're kind of like behind some fishing traps and some boxes kind of sidling along the side.
Is there anything I can set on fire to like?
Oh, it's really wet down here.
That's a shame.
Like maybe you could have a go, but I don't. Without anything clearly flammable. I don't think you could do it easily. It's worth saying. The other two are behind you. It's up to you whether you want to warn them or not. You don't know if they've heard, of course. I
think I might yell, "We have company."
Okay, Boniface, you hear it. Henrik, you can make a roll. I'll keep it standard, but this is your punishment for that.
What you keep, Rinda?
Just.
What's the modifier on a standard again?
No modifier. As in, it's a challenging. When I say standard, I mean no modifier roll. So I'm keeping it a challenging roll.
Okay. No, I fail.
Okay. You're still distracted by the rat / Rinda.
Can I try and loose my sling at the random rat in the opposite direction of where the combat's about to happen?
What, you're trying to flukily get the right happen to shoot in the right direction?
I think that's it.
No, I'm trying to get at the rat that I'm staring at.
All you want to do is get the rat. Yeah, go for it. Just a ballistic skill.
What he wants to do is get his sling out. That's what he's saying.
No, I want to kill the rat.
Sure.
This rat is distracting you. It's a pretty hard shot in the dark. It's just a rat.
It'd be even harder.
I'll make that challenging as well.
You on the shoulder saying,
no
you need to get move on.
Yeah, I don't manage it. It's fine.
Okay. Yeah, Henrik just fired a sling into. You can't see anything particularly, Boniface.
Yeah. Well, then I guess I feel like we're being attacked from two sides, and Henrik has seen someone who like you know. So essentially, I'm kind of a bit panicked.
Boniface just runs off. We're surrounded.
God.
Runs away.
Pretty much.
That's so Boniface.
I think that I would ask Henrik, are we under attack?
No more than usual.
Oh, God. I think that's what Boniface says, you know. Oh, Sigma.
Okay, so it sounds like those two are not immediately doing anything. So we'll go back to the two at the front.
Oh my God.
Oh, such a perfect reaction to a bot. Okay, Okri. I think Kruger, you still can't see. Okri, you see the figure suddenly disappear. You don't really see where. Maybe they went down or into the wall or something. I'm not quite sure.
Okay, in that case, I think. Yeah, I think that I'd probably back away from the wall on the off chance that there is some cut through that I don't know about, and I don't want to be pounced upon from the wall. So
Absolutely.
I'm going to back up sort of 5 feet.
Absolutely.
Just to give a bit of distance there.
Given you're thinking this, give me a perception. Sorry, there's lots of these. I'll tell you what. It could maybe be another roll if there's something like more figuring out cleverness roll. If there's something like that, I don't actually. I've got a character sheet up in front of me. I never do.
I mean, there probably isn't.
If it's not,
I
then
don't
just
think.
Intuition.
Unless it were like, yeah, a flat characteristic.
No, I was kind of thinking like. Actually, that's a bit
What
of a.
about-
Go on.
What about outdoor survival? I don't know how many things often pounce you.
I would.
outdoors.
Yeah,
I
I
would
mean,
let you
that's
use-
worse for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm assuming you don't have. Do you have like? It's streetwise, I think, in this, or what's the equivalent of streetwise? Someone had it.
Oh, I thought there was.
There's something like that in there.
There's like a stealth urban. I don't know if that's what you're thinking of.
Yeah, that's the sort of thing I was thinking of. Or you could also have intuition. I'll let you do any of stealth, urban, navigation, or intuition. There you go, just
Intuition
to
makes
break
more
from the
sense.
perception.
They're all worse than perception.
But it's going to be plus 20 roll. So.
Oh, okay. So I think stealth urban is my best of those at 26.
Oof, okay.
I rolled a 53 and I need 46, so I didn't
Okay.
pass.
You're scanning the wall, but you don't see anything when you're kind of looking there. But you're backing away from it nonetheless. Kruger, you see Okri backing away from the wall and looking at it suspiciously.
What can you see, Okri?
Nothing anymore. The figure seemed to... It was moving along the wall and then it was gone. I'm concerned there may be tunnels. I didn't want to be caught unawares.
As you say that, Okri, you hear the sound of moving masonry. You both do, actually, up there, Kruger and Okri. And before you have much of a chance to react, one of the stones in front of you, where you're shining your torch at, Kruger, starts pushing outwards. You've kind of moved now, so the pit trap is in front of you when you're facing the wall, so it's between you and the wall. So you could stay there,
yeah.
or you could try and move away. The river's now behind you, if you see what I mean.
Yeah, I don't want to be too near the pit trap. I don't want to be sort of, in a position where I could be pushed into it. I am quite tempted to try and push this stone back, though, if I see this moving.
I love it. Yeah, sure. just gonna go push
Slam
the stone.
forward.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like shoulder barge it or something. Yeah, go for strength. I don't know if there's anything specific. Probably no. Probably not. Just give me a strength at plus 20.
Okay. Well, my strength is 36. I roll a 53. So yes,
Okay.
that's just under.
The stone has almost come out, and you batter into it. And as you do so, you hear a little sound from behind the stone. and you kind of feel other stones shifting against you as well.
God.
It's kind of
Okay,
weird
right.
and unsettling. I'm going to give Boniface, not much has happened yet. You two are still just kind of over there wondering. What are you doing in this moment? Because Boniface, you thought you were under attack and nothing else much has happened there.
Well, I've not had anything to dissuade me of this information, so this
You're
impression.
just kind of standing ready.
I'll probably tell Henrik that, Kruger says he has company. If Henrik isn't volunteering any more information, but that'll be as much as I got.
I guess I could have been more specific. But
No, it's good. You're busy now.
No, you're
Yeah.
good. That way it wouldn't have been as fun.
Can I try again to notice what's going on with Kruger and Okri?
Yes, you can. Take a plus 20.
Thank you.
Yeah,
John
go on.
is
I was
smart.
going to say, go on. Okri, what are you doing while John's making that roll then?
I think once I realise what Kruger is doing, so just the stone is coming out from the wall.
Yeah, as if
that
somebody's
right?
pushing it from behind, yeah.
Okay, what I think I would do is rather than try and help Kruger, I think I would stand to the side of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then if an opening appears and something is there, I am prepared.
Yeah, that seems very reasonable.
Yeah.
Okay. So Henrik, what did you roll?
I did not make it. I just failed it. I was 10 off.
Well, you had the notice from Boniface, so you can choose if you want to act on that.
But who listens to Boniface? Though?
That's true.
Really?
Kruger, give me an agility roll.
Right.
And this will be flat.
Agility. That's not great. 34 is my agility.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I rolled an 18.
Okay, so you're standing there bracing against the wall, and one of the stones at the ground starts pushing against your foot, and you think it would have tripped you over if you hadn't have stepped out of the way quickly. But you can't
Right.
brace that one and hold this
My.
one. So either
Yeah.
you kind of step back, or you kind of try and push one of them in. It's up to you.
Well, having seen sort of Okri prepare, I think I will step back sort of alongside and try and do likewise. I don't know, either the other side or
Yeah,
with
sure.
Okri,
One on each
whatever's-
side. That's all
yeah.
good. That's all good. Cool. Okay. So you both stand aside, and basically, as soon as you move, Kruger, a whole 3 or 4 stones all fall to the floor in front of you, and you immediately are confronted with. It's dark, so you can't see super clearly. With a horrible smell and a disgusting kind of pox-ridden face that is nothing like human. Looks, if anything, quite like the face of a rat. I'm just getting a picture up. I wasn't prepared for this moment, apparently, for some reason.
You weren't prepared for this moment.
I know, I should. It squeaks and squeals and makes horrible noises and looks at you menacingly. And I believe it's going to be time for one of you to have a go at it. I'm going to say Okri as a shot first, because Okri kind of stepped back ready first. So, and there we go. I'll put a picture up for a moment as well.
All right, that's a big rat.
It is rather a large rat.
Terrifying.
That rat is about the same size as Okri.
Wow.
Goodness
Well,
me.
not physical size, height. Not that would be a gross underestimation of a dwarf size. Given
Yeah.
Okri is definitely heavier than Kruger.
Is the rat therefore the sort of same size as Boniface? Is Boniface only
Yeah,
slightly...
that's true. About the same. Boniface is quite a chunky guy, but
Right.
probably somewhere in the region of Boniface sized.
Yeah.
Anyway, Okri, go ahead and make your shot. You were well set up for this, so I'm going to give you a plus 40.
Nice. Yeah. So because of my imprecise hammer, I'm -1 success level to hit. However, I have a melee basic of 50. You gave me, so I was at 90 and I rolled 24.
Okay. So, yeah. 2, 3, 4.
That's 6.
6 success level.
6.
Well, 20, 90, because we do it by the 2, so that's 7 success level.
Yeah, but I'm at -1 because of
you're
the
sorry.
imprecise warhammer.
So 6, and your damage from a hand weapon is
But this will be an opposed. If
No, it won't be. Not in this circumstance. It's not fighting back. It's
nice,
just stuck its
nice.
face out.
Nice.
Yeah. Plus strength bonus +4. Strength bonus is 4. Plus
Wow.
4, 14.
Wow.
And that was a 9 hit location. I mean, no, it's going to be the head because that's what's stuck out. So I don't need to roll that.
Yeah, I've basically, I think, sort of got the hammer actually down low and back a bit. And as soon as I see something, I'm swinging upwards.
I see.
Is my plan.
Your swing goes straight into the thing's mouth, as you can see it there. Right in behind those 2 front teeth, and the top of the skull just comes away with a horrible crunching, like disgusting noise and a vague kind of squeal. The thing flops immediately down in front of you in a rather disgusting, definitely dead heap.
I'm going to shout for Henrik and Boniface again.
Mm-hmm.
We've still got company.
You just say rats before you even get the tea out. Henrik will be there.
So true. Yeah, you both hear that from behind. It's worth saying as well, Okri, as you do that from behind in that cavern, you now hear loads of squeaking and squealing and scratching and all sorts of other horrible noises, and the stench is really quite awful coming up from there. It's quite like it's kind of clogging in your throat now, and everything, But this one's dead. Kruger, you have a moment. Are you going to kind of be swinging in? Are you going to be moving anywhere, or are you just holding and waiting to see if another one comes out?
That's a great question. How much squeaking was there?
Quite a lot. There's lots of noise in there.
I think I'll look at this sort of large rat corpse and then look bemused and somewhat surprised at Okri. And then maybe think about like pulling back towards, because we'd crossed over a bridge or something, hadn't we? A sort of a
little bridge. Yeah, just
I'll be thinking about areas we can defend, sort of areas that get us more towards Henrik and Boniface and away from large pits and holes with indeterminate numbers of rats.
Yeah, that's fair. So are you moving?
Yes, I think
okay.
I will be.
Cool. Backing slightly up towards that bridge and kind of gesturing Okri follow.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Henrik and Boniface, is that enough of a signal to send you rushing over?
Yes, as long as you're not going to make me roll for it.
That's absolutely fine. So I'm going to say we'll have one more kind of set of actions. I'm not quite in combat yet because we'll see how this goes. We might not have to go into full combat rounds or not. Depends what happens with this hole. But in one kind of more action than the others, we'll see what happens. But first, I'm going to make a little roll. Willpower. Oh my goodness, that was a pass. They don't even have high willpower, but whatever. So, Kruger, you're kind of backing up, and as you're backing up, Okri's just swung, and perhaps Okri, you're kind of trying to follow suit at this point as well. Another one of the hideous creatures, apparently not at all dissuaded by the death of its comrade just in front of itself, comes out. This time, weapon first, kind of held with that ugly, rotten wooden shield in the other hand. Perhaps this one's a bit more practiced in combat, or perhaps it just learned from what it saw in front of it. But its 2 arms are extended. You can't see its face yet as it creeps from this little hole in the wall. Kruger, you could try and get a hit in from where you are if you like, but you'd have to step forward again, and it wouldn't be with such an advantage because you decide to step back. Or you keep pulling back for now. It's up to you.
I'll try and attack, I think, on this one.
Okay. Yep. Okay. That's going to be plus 20.
Plus 20. Okay.
It's still crawling out of a hole, and it doesn't get to fight back in this moment.
Lovely. Okay. Well, and this is where the maths gets slightly fun.
Because you've got a weapon that might affect this stuff as well, haven't you?
Yes. So this, it's a Warhammer. It's 2-handed, so it has the keywords damaging, pummel, and slow. We can figure those out in a tick, I guess, if I hit. My melee 2-handed is 50. So I'm trying to roll under 70. I roll a 55.
Excellent. So 2 success levels base.
Yes. And slow weapons, opponents, if they're defending, opponents get a bonus of +1 success level to any test to
Well,
defend
not
against
defending.
my attacks.
You're all good.
Cool, lovely.
Can't
Right.
defend. They're stuck. They're crawling from a hole. It's quite difficult to.
Excellent. So 2 success levels. So that's I just go straight for damage now, do I?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I don't know if
Of
there's anything else
damage.
specifically in those points that affects it, but it's got a lot of damage, doesn't it?
Oh, hello,
Did-
55. It's a double. It's a crit.
Oh, it is. Oh, thank you very
This
much.
poor rat.
Oh no, it's not going to go well for this poor rat.
Did he say one of the things is damaging, Steve?
Yes, a damaging
Do you
weapon.
know what that is? Because that's quite cool.
Yeah, so damaging weapon can use either. Oh my, yes, thank you. It can use the higher score from either the unit's die or the success level to determine the damage caused from a successful hit. So in this case, 5 is greater than 2.
That is pretty cool.
That's my maths training kicking in there.
Well, I think that checks out, you know.
Yeah. So that will be, in terms of damage then, and the fact that it's a crit, we can come on to that.
Yeah.
I
I think I'm not sure the crit's going to be necessary, to be perfectly honest. But
well,
we'll have
no,
flavor.
but let's, you know.
We haven't had many crits.
I
so it's always
mean,
good.
necessary.
It's a body crit because it's in the 50s.
So
Roll,
damage is going to
roll.
be 5 plus my strength bonus, which is 3 plus 6.
Mm-hmm. Very nice. And we are adding, as we found out, crit damage is definitely added on top of regular damage, if there is. crit
Yes,
damage.
so that is 14, I believe.
Oh, and I rolled a 92 on the crit table, which is a very high
Ooh.
roll. So that's going to be a bad thing. I mean, it's probably dead anyway, but it's a rib cage is smashed. That rib cage is done. All of it. It's just crunched. It doesn't immediately kill the creature, but how much damage did you do additionally?
So I rolled. Yeah, the damage from the standard blow was about 14 damage.
Okay.
Ow.
Plus the smashed rib cage, which does an extra 5 damage.
Wow.
Tough.
So I don't think this thing has 19 wounds somehow. Yeah, your hammer goes. Now you're using this hammer. You're absolutely shocked by the weight of it, and you have to say you're swinging downwards. The
Yes.
creature's just kind of got its shoulders out like that. If you see what I mean, it's looking
Ooh.
up at you, and you strike just kind of the middle of the back, and your hammer doesn't slow down at all, and then buries itself inside the muck with a big splash. Most of the energy going to the ground. Apparently, this creature didn't put up much resistance as it crumpled, not quite in half. It kind of crunched and then swung to the side, but it doesn't even make a noise other than crunching and squishing noises. You're doing pretty well this hole. I don't know when you don't want to moving.
I'd probably say to Akri, I don't know what it is, but it's crunchy.
Okri, were you staying put as well there for the moment, given the circumstance?
I'm going to. We'll move as a group. I think it's better that we're together than. So, yeah, if Kruger stops, Okri will stop.
That's what I was wondering. So I'll assume you're both doing the same thing as that movement goes in. Okay, Henrik and Boniface, you're now just coming to the end of that bridge that the others crossed. So you can see the pit. You both have dark vision, so you can see quite clearly, if I remember correctly.
Bloody hell.
So you can see the pit, and you can see the disgusting black, red-blooded messes underneath the hole. Henrik, make me a roll of... you see your rat catching skill is weapon skill, which doesn't really make very much sense at this moment, is it? I can stop sharing this now.
Intuition?
Yeah, that's probably quite a good one, unless there's something you can think more relevant for what you can probably imagine this roll.
Plus 1,000?
I mean, the only other thing I can think is outdoor survival.
No, go intuition. That's good.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Anything that you've invaded looks like a rat. Henrik will correctly or incorrectly draw the conclusion that it's a rat.
It's a good point.
And this is going to be a plus 20.
That's not a pass.
Okay. Yeah.
Henrik having a day.
Yeah. I mean, they look like creatures coming from underneath.
Probably more beastmen, eh?
You put me in a tricky position.
Maybe I should Google all this
If you want,
conspiracy stuff.
you can try rolling with your fortune to see if you have more information. If you really want it,
Rolling with my fortune?
As
You
in
mean?
reroll.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for it.
just if you want.
I have to live vicariously through everyone else's fortune.
Once again, no.
What fortune never works. Never. I think.
Oh, it's worked for me.
Always fail. Oh, you had. Okay, you. There you go. Kruger's the only one who's had success with fortune.
It also worked for me. It was just then the next time I had to make the same roll, I rolled the same as I'd rolled the first time.
Oh gosh. Yeah, Henrik, you've shown up and you just think that some other creature. It's dark. You haven't had much time to think about it yet.
It's
Well,
amazing.
it doesn't look bipedal. I mean, it looks bipedal, so it clearly can't be a rat.
I'm not even sure you could tell it looks
Clearly.
bipedal just yet.
No,
It's
not
just a-
the way
It looks
Kruger's
like a-
mangled it.
It looks like a muddy stain on the floor.
Well, this is why it was a check that had some challenge to it, you know?
Right, yeah.
Cool.
Okay, I'm going to make another roll then. This is going to be real hard because they're not doing well. I need to get back down to the bottom of this page, but I think that was 20 base. Yeah, no. So you hear the squeak. You kind of hear a cacophony of squeaks and screeches and other weird noises coming from inside the hole. It sounds like something is talking in a creature. I mean, it sounds like giant rats talking. That's a fair assessment. Like,
relatable.
this sound sounds like squeaking of a small mammal, but enlarged. That's what I mean by that.
Okay.
Like
Henrik, you're not right there
Boniface.
yet. But nothing is coming out anymore. You don't know if they've paused, they're thinking of retreating, if they're having art, you don't know.
Has the squash stain on the floor got anything valuable on it?
Oh, God.
You're not there. Oh, are you here?
Yeah,
But
now
we
Henrik
just
and Boniface
turned
are
up.
there. I'll tell you what,
Okay,
Henrik, now you can hear the noise. I'll give you one more roll on this and then I'm done.
Oh, this is just painful to
You've
watch.
given up on me.
If you
Then
fail this, you
I'm
have
not
to
giving
leave the
you any more
session.
until at least next morning.
Okay, what would you like me to roll?
This
Well, a
time,
pass,
I'll tell you what,
ideally.
because it's based on the sound. I'll give you a perception roll.
That's
And it'll
not
be
that much better.
plus 20. Well, I don't know what your skills are. What do you want
Can
from
I
me?
convince an animal care for recognizing an animal noise?
What a joke.
Okay, but you'll get a different set of information.
That's fine.
These animals weren't cared for.
These animals did not
Animals
have a
need
good
care.
childhood.
Care was poor.
They're terrified of something, possibly some large mace wielding.
I'm spending a fortune point because I'm not taking a 90 and I'm
Have you-
swapping my D10 set.
I was going to say, yeah.
Just when
Bring
you've
in
rolled
the
all the bad
substitutes.
luck out of that one.
Right. That is a definite pass it was plus 20, 4 success levels.
Okay.
Much better.
I will give you first of all that you know exactly what Kruger and Okri know. They sound like giant rats because you're close enough to hear that. Whatever that means to you is up to you. The other information I'm going to give you because it was a charm animal roll is they sound stressed and scared. Like they're being forced. I think Henrik's having a moment. So is anyone else acting immediately, or are you all just kind of standing waiting?
As I
Rinda,
said,
go in the
does
hole.
Does the red smear have anything valuable?
Okay, Rinda, go in the hole. I love it. Boniface, you when you go down towards the stinking, disgusting mess on the mucky riverbed, it stinks and it's like choking your mouth, and you can see what a ragged, rusty-looking blade. It's like looks like a scimitar that belonged to a human a very long time ago, but is barely existent anymore. That's the only thing you spot without poking through the mess.
Then I'll inspect the hole with the spikes in it.
Yeah, it's a terrible job. It was dug hastily and badly. Henrik, you honestly, I don't think you have to encourage Rinda to leap in. Rinda smells rat. Rinda is in that hole. Rinda
Wow.
leaps right into the hole, the small terrier, and you immediately hear more excited and loud shrieks from inside. I'm gonna make another roll.
Rinda's got spirit.
You ever seen a terrier, one of those rat catching dogs?
They are when they get a rat, they are like
Oh,
orcas.
but they've rolled well. Okay, so you hear what immediately sounds like a scuffle and a fight engaging, and growling from Rinda and squealing from the creatures, and some metal hitting a stone or something. It sounds like there's a fight going on in there.
How big is the hole?
Oh my
Big
God.
enough for you to squeeze through.
I'm going to squeeze in that hole.
Oh, you're kidding.
Henrik,
Nope.
make me an athletic roll to see if it takes you a moment or you're right through.
Any modifier?
Plus 20, yeah.
Yes.
Cool. Okay. you grab the edges of the hole, which are still a bit kind of slimy and groupy with the mess that Kruger and Ockley made, and heave yourself through, and you're on your feet on the far side. And inside here, it's like a tube that's been dug. It's not actually too small in the earth and the muck, and you can see bits of masonry from the buildings above. And things like that, kind of bits of wood, old wooden poles and things. It's very dark and it stinks, but you can see in front of you are at least 5 or 6 of those weird giant rat creatures who are all kind of in a bit of a circle, trying to hit Rinda. They look disheveled and they look diseased and they look skinny, and they're stabbing at them at Rinda with a moldy spear and just their like bare clawed hands. They haven't hit Rinda yet. Looks like Rinda's kind of flailing on one of their legs. That one looks unhappy. I'm assuming Henrik's going to leap into attack unless you have another plan.
I roar at the top of my lungs, rats! And then, probably just. I'm not even going for my slaying. I'm probably going to jump in with my sword.
Okay. Everyone else, what are you doing? Having seen Henrik just pull themselves straight into that hole.
They're a bit large for rats, aren't they? How big does the hole look compared to Kruger? Because
I mean, I don't think I'm going to give you a particular negative beyond that. You're a little larger than Henrik, but you're still a person. Ockrey, I was actually going to say it's harder for because Ockrey's broader.
Right.
So Ockrey will be more Ockrey, you could make it through, but it'd be more difficult for you. You might need a hand or a push.
Kruger
Or
the one who's
something.
holding the kind of like stone door shut, and he could just pull and wisen up a bit.
It's stone. You mean the stone slabs? They're like
stone
masonry
slabs,
being pushed out.
yeah.
Yeah, you could have a go at pulling them out to make it easier if you wanted to. That would also take a moment, though.
Kruger will be just sort of look at Ockrey and Boniface and kind of. This is a very puzzling development.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are we? Should we go in? What?
Are you saying that? Okay, well, if you're having a conversation about this and aren't jumping in immediately, I'm going to go back to Henrik.
Please.
Yeah, there's enough. Yeah, I'm going to be baffled by.
If no
It
one
is
is
pretty
immediately
baffling.
let in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Henrik. You know what? I think you get a reply from one of the creatures that just goes, thing's not supposed to be here. And I'm going to make another roll. and 2 of the creatures just turn around and start running.
Oh dear.
One of the kind of more bulky looking ones running back the other way down the tunnel away from
Right.
you. One of the more bulky looking ones with the spear pointed at Rinda turns and looks towards you and bares its teeth, its yellowing, disgusting teeth at you, with red eyes kind of gazing at your risen blade. It looks like it's ready to have a go at stabbing you. I think we might as well go to combat rounds now. Seems like we're about there, given there's a few enemies. So we'll definitely have a Henrik. We'll have all the player characters because you'll be making up your minds what you're doing. We'll definitely have a Henrik. I feel like I want Rinda to have a separate entry into combat. I must admit, we don't.
We need a Rinda icon.
Yeah, we do need a Rinda.
Where would you like to put him?
I think Rinda would have pretty good initiative being a dog. At the front, Rinda should be about 45. Look at animal initiative. And then 3 of the
we're going
rats.
for live icon
Since
generation.
you've done an excellent job of intimidating all these rats. When I was rolling for willpower for you, crunching them when they were trying to get out, a lot of them just ran away then because it turns out rats don't like very much seeing their friends crunched. Well, no one does, but rats aren't very brave.
That's fair.
Good to know. This is vital information.
It is. I've given you all the tips here.
Oop. There we go.
Oh, excellent job. Cool. So it's going to be Rinda first, isn't it? So I'm going to have to figure out what sort of damage Rinda can do. I think there is a dog in the entry here. Unless, do you have Rinda specific stats?
I don't.
Okay, I'll scroll to dog. There should be dog in here somewhere.
I should probably find them and then write them down for future reference.
Yeah, it's all good. Well, there's wolves
Bliss
here, so I could
development.
interpret from wolves. Oh, there we go.
He's
dogs.
only small.
Yeah. I'm going to lower it a bit. Yeah, that seems fair though. So,
Oh, there is an entry for giant rats.
yeah, there is. Yeah.
They're just rats.
No, these are definitely a bit different from the giant rats listed in that entry. Okay, so it is Rinda first, isn't it? Rinda is on the leg of one of the Skaven currently. So I'm going to roll and give Rinda a bit of a bonus because Rinda doesn't have the highest weapon skill based on that stat. So plus 20 though for Rinda because already on leg. I'm going to give Rinda a plus 40 because this is Rinda's whole purpose in life. Seems only fair.
I hope Rinda has damage resistance.
And then
I'm hoping he's at least got
more
my
worried that-
disease resistant.
Sorry, that's
More worried about the rat, to be honest.
So that is 2 success level victory for Rinda, and then has an extra bonus plus 5. Oh, that's a good weapon. That bite. So that's plus 7 damage on. So one of the Skaven. So there's 3 of them. John.
The what? Sorry?
One of them that is currently being bitten at by Rinda takes 7 damage. This is kind of the most like wiry, gnarly looking one of them. As it's bitten by Rinda, it's not trying to fight back now. It's just trying to get Rinda off, and it's kind of like hobbling and just trying to like drag itself further away back into the cavern, away from this hideous monster that's trying to eat it. And who is next on that list then? So we're going from top left to bottom right. Is that right?
Yes.
Cool. Okay. So in that case, we'll do the one that's injured.
5, 6, 7.
It's not even trying to fight Rinda now. It's just trying to get Rinda off. So it's going to make an opposed strength. Okay. That was Rinda's roll. And oh god, it rolled worse. But I think it has a better strength stat. Yeah, so it 1 success level over. So it manages to push Rinda off just. So it's kind of like its weedy little arms is just like on the jaws on its leg, and it kind of opens the jaws just enough, and then just throws Rinda away, and instantaneously turns and flees as fast as it can down the cave. That Skaven is gone, just disappeared.
Any chance of a pursuit, or is it moving really fast?
Not without being able to get past these 2 that are in front of you. It's kind of a narrow tunnel.
Okay.
So perhaps after you've got rid of them or dealt with them in some way. Rinda does not run after it. Rinda stays closer to you.
Good dog.
Next Skaven, so let's say this is the burly one with the spear. Sorry, I've got all the same picture. Is going to swipe for you, Henrik. So you roll your weapon skill against it.
Okay.
And it rolls a very bad roll.
I basic 46, and I roll 82.
So what's your success level difference from your target?
Is
that 4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a -4.
Let me find what I've scrolled away because I went to the dog section. Where's the rats? There we go. It got 5, as in -5 off. So you win by 1 and get no damage bonus. No. You will get 1 damage bonus because of that difference of 1. If you see what I mean, it's the difference that matters.
Yeah,
that's
the
how this
relative.
rule works. So you will get a +1 to your standard damage bonus, even though you both failed. That's how the rule worked. I remember reading that. So
Cool.
you're just
and I get an
flailing around.
advantage.
You will get an advantage because you've succeeded here. You're just flailing around in this mucky tunnel, both of you, and it's almost a matter of luck in the mess of combat that you managed to strike, basically with the side of your blade against this creature, and it just makes a wailing noise. What was your roll value? 80. So that's going to be a hit on the
Head? Is that head?
a left leg. Yeah. So you just
I
whack
totally
it off.
reversed. I rolled
Whack.
82.
Oh,
So
sorry,
it should
it's
be in
20
the
left.
28,
Left arm,
which is
somewhere on the left. So yeah, it's not holding anything. It's just holding its spear with the other arm, but its arm kind of twists. And you don't think you've done any like major damage to it, but you certainly knocked it off balance. How much damage was that in total, by the way, including your bonus?
Oh, because I actually do damage to it.
Yeah,
Oh,
you do damage to the wounds. Yeah, +1. Because basically, that's, as we said before, this is like fatigue. So you've succeeded at knocking it kind of
Strength bonus
off balance.
+4. My strength bonus is 2. So 6. Plus the
Okay.
1, 7.
Okay, so
Cool.
7 in total. So yeah, mark 7 off on that one. I'm going to make a willpower roll because these guys, none of these ones want to stay and fight if they don't have to. 49.
Seems
what's
fair.
better? And its willpower is lower than that. So it hasn't had a chance to act yet, but you see this one backing away quickly. You've clearly, I mean, you don't think you've injured it very badly, but it clearly doesn't like its chances against you, and it's backing up down this tunnel, leaving only 1 Skaven left. I don't think this Skaven can reach you, Henrik, so I think it's just going to try and stomp on Rinda as Rinda is like under its feet.
Oh.
I'm going to say that's Yeah, it's just gonna be a weapon skill.
Rinda has a +1 advantage.
Yeah, well, it rolled 90. And Rinda rolled better, so it doesn't succeed.
Good.
Good.
Does Rinda then deal damage to it?
No. So that's the damage only works if you're the aggressor in this situation. So if the other person gets higher than you, all that means is you haven't succeeded, and they get an advantage of having successfully defended.
But I wasn't the aggressor in the last one. The Skaven was the aggressor in the last.
Oh yeah, I don't know why I did that. My apologies. You just have a +1 advantage then. Take all that damage off. Thank you for catching me out.
No, we just killed it.
Does that mean it doesn't run away?
I think
It's
you might.
fine.
I'll tell you what. I'll make the same willpower roll, but I'm going to give it advantage because it's still a coward.
That's fair.
It does actually succeed on that willpower roll, so scratch that. It isn't backing up. It's not looking particularly
Thinks
confident,
better of
but
it.
it's standing there blocking the way.
Okay.
Boniface.
I like the idea that it kind of goes, this isn't blood, this is ketchup. Yeah, Boniface will head through the hole.
Mm-hmm. Athletics rolling. Agility,
even though I'm so freaking small.
I'm going to give you a +40 on it. I've already decided.
Well, I rolled a 53 and I needed a 45. So, yes. Well, yeah, I mean, that was emotional. So, yeah, I definitely get through with many
With all the success levels, you're easily through. I'm going to say you have time to have a quick action there as well. You can't really reach the.
Well, I'd like to. I
anyway,
didn't bring my spear with me into town because I thought it would be a bit conspicuous, but I do have a dagger and a buckler, which I'd like to have at the ready if possible.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. You're kind of there ready with the dagger and buckler. And if you get a moment round Henrik in the combat, you could totally take your opportunity there. Perhaps even.
Yeah, I'd like to stab a nearby rat. Maybe the one that's engaged with Henrik.
Sure. I know. I'll tell you what. You got a high enough roll. Give me another agility roll, and if you succeed at this, I'll say you have a chance to stab through.
Some amount.
Oh, sorry, you were lagging a bit there, Justin. Are you back? Are you back, Justin? You lagged a bit then. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you hear me
be
now?
okay.
Yeah, great. Okay. Well, I rolled an 18 on my attack. And that gives me 2 success levels.
Have a chance of defending.
If there's no modifier.
There's actually a +20 because it's now got 2v1.
Then there's 4 success.
Okay, and it got 2 success levels. It had a pretty good roll. So 2 success levels success for you. So you get +2 plus your strength bonus plus your weapon bonus, damage bonus.
So I think that's a total of 8 damage.
Okay, so now it takes 8 damage to the. You rolled what was your number you rolled?
18.
18. So it does damage to the 8th section, which I think is the left leg. So you stab out, and you kind of don't really. The blade doesn't dig in, but you bash at it quite severely, and you knock it like it almost falls over with the strike, and you get the impression that you've really knocked it out of whack in this kind of combat. Probably bruised it pretty bad too in the kind of lower, whatever the calf of this creature is. It kind of looks like it could be a calf. So that's 8 damage to that one.
Are we saying it's first, the second, or the third?
Middle one? The
middle one, please.
And at that, it starts to look scared and starts backing away down the tunnel towards the one that's trying to stomp on Rinda. And that is Henrik's turn. And Boniface, you get a +1 advantage for that as well. You should know that, don't.
Thanks, John.
I'm going to try and finish off the one that's retreating.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
Can I try and non-fatally take it out?
Oh, okay. What's your weapon?
It's a sword.
Okay, so are you going to try and bash it with the pommel sort of thing?
Yeah.
Okay, I would say yes, you're going to do less damage as a chance. But if you hit the kind of threshold of wounds, you will not kill it immediately if you succeed.
Yeah, I'm going to try and do that.
Okay, so you're going to go and try and bash it with the pommel.
Mm-hmm.
There might be some obscure rule in the book for this, but I ain't looking that up. So that seems like a fair ruling in the moment.
I am. Yeah, I'm currently looking for it. But...
No. Still trying to defend. Okay.
So what... Do I have any modifiers that you would give
Yes,
me?
you have a +20 because you're teaming up with Boniface.
+20, plus my 10 for my advantage, which means I just succeed 1 success level.
Okay, well, it actually got 2 success levels.
Damn it.
So it as you kind of try and bash out towards its face, the spear shoots up and just knocks your arm aside, and you kind of stumble slightly to one side, and your advantage is gone, and it gains one advantage. And Okri, what are you doing then? You've heard there's definitely fighting going on, I know you've heard all this, and you probably see it as well from where you are.
I'm going to try and squeeze in, unless I think I'm going to get stuck.
I mean, worst case, if you got stuck, there's people here to help you.
I'm going to try and squeeze in.
Okay. It's worth saying, are you approaching this from the agility, trying to just squeeze and dash through as quick as possible? Or are you trying to batter your way in? Because you could try with strength if you want. I'll be happy to let you. The agility will be a plus 40 difficulty.
I would probably just try and, if I get there and I think, yeah, I'm probably 50-50 on whether I'll just nip through this, I'd probably try and just squeeze through.
Okay, cool. Plus 40 agility. Sorry, no. That's the positive way. Flat agility. Sorry, I'm going the other way around. I'll give a plus 20.
Oh, good. 21.
Yeah, that was the reason I gave you the strength opportunity, because I thought it'd take longer, but you could batter it. Yeah, Okri's stuck. Your shoulders do not fit through this as well as you'd hoped. And you're kind of there halfway. And it's not like your feet are flailing or anything. Your feet are still on the ground, but you're just pushing and you're not moving easily. Like you could probably get yourself through with a bit of effort, but you're not. You're currently blocking the hole in this precise moment.
I'd have gone in hammer arm first, just for the record.
Okay, so the arm's flailing.
Just in case I need to defend myself while I'm stuck there.
Is there any noise issued from Okri's mouth at the getting stuck in the hole? Just for my.
I mean, I was trying to go through quickly, so probably a.
Boniface, you hear that sound and see a hammer flame next to you.
Yeah, I just have to duck. That's kind of like swings past my head.
Oh, I love it. Well, that's pretty much all that's happening there. Kruger, everyone else has attempted to go into this hole.
Do you need assistance there, Master
Okri? Very
Okri?
well with blocking the hole.
Yeah, I probably can't hear you all that well.
Yeah. There's stuff going on in here too, loud things. So I don't think Okri can hear you.
Clanging and
you could say it.
I'm
just saying you don't get any register from Okri.
I do look like I'm stuck. Like my legs are sort of pushing on the floor and lifting off the floor. I'm kind of
questioning the pride of dwarves at this point. Eh?
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh God. Okay. Well, yeah. I will hope that Okri is the forgiving sort, and try and apply a certain amount of assistance.
Absolutely. Give me a strength roll at plus 20.
Strength roll at plus 20. Great. Let's have a look. I think my strength is 36. So trying to roll under 56. 48.
Okay. With a heave, you decide the best way of doing this is to push Okri's boots. And with a heave, you get under the heels rather than anything else. You get under the heels and you push Okri right through it. Okri, it's a little ungraceful. You kind of fall on your elbows, but you're in the tunnel with some ease.
My apologies,
it's
Mr.
like I'm in the room.
Oh, I love it.
Spare no expense here at Telling Tales.
Unfortunately, that was your turn, Kruger. So Rinda is having a go with a plus. Rinda succeeded at not getting hit. Yeah, you're right.
That's what I just realized. Yeah.
So Rinda is snapping at this one that's trying to stomp. Weapon skill. Oh, Rinda's doing real well. So that is 2 successes. I mean, Rinda's weapon skill is only 25, so that's how well Rinda's rolling.
That's good. It's falling better than me.
Yeah, Rinda's still on all of your fortune. That's the problem.
And the Skaven did not roll successfully, so the Skaven's a -3, so that's plus 5.
True to form.
Okay. So that is, it's not a critical, but Rinda is now just chomping on the crotch of this creature, and it's making horrible noises. It's really unpleasant, actually. Rinda's clearly just having a great time. The creature is not. The creature's not having a great time. That is plus 1, 7, 9 damage to the wounds of that.
This one, isn't it?
Yeah, that one. And you know what? I'm not even going to roll for its willpower. It is crawling and weeping and trying anything it can to
Goodness.
get away.
Oh, very nice.
can go
Maximum
to +3.
advantage is
Initiative bonus, which for Rinda is
like 4, right?
Yeah, 4. Yeah.
Cool. For some reason, I can't erase that one.
That's all right. Don't worry. We forgive you. The middle Skaven with a spear. You know what? There's 2 people attacking it as well. I'm going to make another roll for it. Oh, no, it was already backing up. I'd already decided it was backing up. It's going to... Yeah, it just turns and starts running. It pushes over the one that's crawling with Rinda biting it as it goes by, not even caring. And that one, you can chase this one if you want, Henrik. You absolutely can, but it's not making any effort to defend itself. I think at this point we can go out of combat. That was a pretty easy one.
I think I might try and chase it.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Rinda lets go of the one on the ground, seeing you dash by. So the one on the ground is near you is still alive and crawling. I think it actually, I'll tell you what, actually, it has gone completely still. So perhaps no one will pay any more mind to it. But Henrik's dash past. I don't think that's Henrik's priority. So
I am going to shout over my shoulder, secure the rat. Take it.
Kruger, are you immediately falling through the hole as well as the last one that wasn't in?
I guess so. That's just very
Kruger
strange.
runs off. I don't like holes.
I really just like the idea that like the stone is really easy to move and really easy to slip through, but the whole time Kruger hasn't realised that he's been holding it shut.
all this time,
breaking
breaking the wall. It's worth describing your surroundings a little more as well, I suppose, at this point. So it's dark in here. Like there isn't really any source of light at all. I think Kruger still has the torch, so at the back there is that torch shining, which is just a flaming torch, right? It's not a proper lantern or anything.
I probably threw it down like just before we started fighting. So
well,
I'll
it's
kind
still
of recover
burning.
it.
So
Yeah.
So that there's a flaming torch at the back of you. Everyone but Kruger, because I think you all have night vision otherwise, can see a way into this tunnel, but zero source of light. You can't see forever. It just seems to go straight and down, and maybe there's some branches off to the side or way ahead, but you can't really tell. It's about 5 foot high, kind of circle in the mud, as I said, with kind of bits of support from buildings above in here and everything like that. There's mess and all sorts of horrible things in here, some blood, not just from your fight. But Henrik is just racing down this tunnel. Mucky footsteps going away with Rinda happily salivating at your side. I think I would like you to give me an athletics roll to see if you can catch this rat. I think I'll do a opposed athletics roll. Okay. It got -2 successes.
I got -1.
You do beat it. So you've just got it. What are you trying to do? Grab it, hit it with your weapon? What's the intention? You've just got close enough to do something.
I'm trying to bring it down, basically.
Okay. Well, you can't like leap on it. You didn't get that many successes, so just gripping it with your hand then. Is that the intention?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you've got a hold of the back of like a filthy piece of cloth.
Can I hook it? Yes, I'm wearing gloves. Can I hook it with my sword?
Yeah, absolutely. You could do that. I think that's fair. So you've done that. I'm happy to say you're close enough. You've just got it. You haven't pulled it to the ground at this point. I'll tell you what, you're right there. Make a strength roll to see if you can pull it to the ground. It's going to be a post strength, I think, as well. Okay, it got -2 successes. They're not rolling well.
I got -3.
Okay, yeah. Your sword is resting on its shoulder, and you're kind of still just running in that kind of moment. You haven't pulled it over. You've kind of jerked it a bit, and it's not slowing down. It doesn't want to stop. Everyone else, Henrik and Rinda have disappeared into the darkness. Kruger, you can't see them. The other 2 can still see them.
You can probably still hear him.
Oh, yeah, that's true. You can hear the squealing and just like sound as you're doing it as well.
I'm going to be getting up and sort of dusting myself off a bit, I think.
Yeah.
That's going to be my first port of call.
I'm going to sit on the rat. I was given very clear instructions.
When you sit on the rat, you hear it just go and then stop making noise entirely.
I put my dagger at it.
Did you crush
The
the
rat
rat?
is
then when you
secured,
said
my
so?
lord.
Are you pointing its dagger at the face? The rat's
Yeah.
eyes are closed, and you see one of the eyes open like that, very slightly, to look at the dagger.
Don't you move, little sir.
It's like you can feel it vibrating slightly underneath you as well.
I
Like
think it's
shaking,
not dead,
like
my
it's
lord.
shaking.
What is it?
I don't know, but if you want to see Henrik again, maybe we'll go after him. I'll keep this one.
Okri's going to have started walking down once he's cleaned himself off anyway.
You're just marching down that tunnel. Gotcha. You could still hear the kind of commotion going on ahead. Kruger, are you following, or are you staying with Boniface at the moment?
I guess I'll follow, but I've got the light source. So, Boniface, do you have a...
Boniface is near enough. The
Oh,
entrance,
dark
there's
vision.
light there.
You have dark vision as well, don't you?
I can see fine.
Okay. I'll follow Okri then. I'm bemused by all of it. Is this city life? Is this what you do? I don't... Seems very odd to me.
Henrik, another opposed strength. I'm only going to give you one more with his sword, otherwise you ain't going to have that hold on them anymore. It did pretty well. +1.
I failed by 1.
Okay, so yeah, the sword comes free. So you haven't got a grip on them anymore. They haven't. I think it's time to have another opposed athletics roll as well to see if they escape you in here. Go on.
Is Rinda also like trying to snap at them though?
Yes. I'll tell you what. That's only fair. I'll give a roll for Rinder as well, just to see. I'm going to get dexterity roll for Rinder. I think. Snap at that. Rinder's rolled a 94, so I stand by my Rinder has done nothing until this point.
That's fair.
In this moment, I was totally deliberate. I think Rinder's not like doing badly. Rinder is instead so exciting that he's just barking and jumping and not actually doing anything useful.
Yeah, I have friends with dogs like that.
Opposed athletics with no modifiers. I failed by quite a bit.
And this rat succeeds. So at that point, you just got it. The sword goes off, and then all of a sudden, a hole you didn't even notice in the side of the cavern, the creature just dives suddenly to the left, and you're already like 10 paces on before you even manage to stop to kind of catch yourself and go, oh, it went that way. And by the time you've got back there, you can see nothing down the hole.
I will pause for a moment, compose myself, stop the strange twitching in my left eye, and turn around and head back to the group.
Henrik, roll me a perception. +20.
Oh my god, I failed by 1 point.
Should we just
I
start
needed
this
a
episode
55
again?
and I got a 56.
Oh, that's so terrible.
Thought you hadn't spent all those
so terrible.
favour
Well,
earlier.
It's okay, because I was going to give you something. It was just a roll to get more of a thing.
You're getting pity information now.
You hear creatures in here, things moving around. Not just like, insects and stuff, like large creatures. Sounds like whatever that was. There's other things, as if this is a burrow or something. It's probably what you would have imagined, but you can hear it in the kind of area around you. And you hear Okri stomping down the tunnel towards you. And a moment later, you see the bright light of Kruger's torch and presumably Okri's silhouette in front of the torch down this narrow tunnel. So you three meet up.
It got away. Is the other one still there? Have we still got it?
Mm-hmm.
Is it alive?
Boniface is currently sitting on it. I'm not quite sure why, but...
Good. Then we can question it. And we can ask it what it is and what it's doing here and what it knows about anything.
Yes.
Yes.
Good. Then let's go.
Boniface. Roll me a strength, please.
I knew this would happen. Oh, that doesn't look good.
The creature got a +1.
Might re-roll this. I might spend one of my fortune.
Fortune, yes.
Yep, might be a good idea.
I rolled an 87. And I don't think that'll be enough.
Well, it's not ideal. It's better than a fumble, but...
So I need to beat 41, and this time I rolled 36, which is 1 success level, right?
So you both got 1 success level.
Oh.
Okay. So I'm going to take that as all of a sudden the creature underneath you twitches violently, trying to force you off and
Stab itself in the eyes.
scrabbles at the side of the cave. Are you like just immediately going to try and stab it? Would that be your
Yeah, there's a
reaction?
fucking rat creature underneath
Cool,
me.
cool. In that case, I'm going to say make a weapon skill because you have to make a check for it, but you get a
Don't fumble.
Get a plus 20 for being on top of it.
Yeah, I'm not holding back. There's a rat
that's
creature
fine.
twitching
That's
underneath me.
fine.
Yeah, I didn't roll great. You rolled 74, and I need to get much less than that.
So plus 20 ain't enough. Okay, so I'm going to say it hasn't escaped, but you're overbalanced. So you're kind of on all fours now, and you've kind of got one leg over kind of its leg and hips, and it's kind of tangled up with you trying to escape.
Playing
And
rat
scrabble
twister.
away as quickly as possible. Your knife
Trying
isn't
to like
by its
slicing
thigh
it,
anymore.
but not really connecting. Like,
Are you,
get back down, you lazy rat!
are you trying to hold it or just kill it?
I am overall trying to hold it, but I'm not. If I kill it in the process, then I'm still a success.
What I'm saying is you have a choice of either grabbing it or stabbing it. One of those things happens now while it's trying to escape.
Grab or stab.
The
Grab or
grab will be
stab.
harder, the stab will be more deadly.
I am trying to grab it.
Okay.
I rolled, and that's what
That's a
happened.
strength. Ooh, it didn't roll
I
too
rolled
well.
21, which is 2 success levels.
It rolled -1. So yeah, you grip the arms of this creature. They're horrible little wiry things. When you get your hands around them, like you can get your hands clean around its upper arms, and you just press against the wall, and it like spits and slavers, and like blood and bits of horribleness from its teeth go all over your face as it tries to like just bite at you and screech and squeal, but it's not getting anywhere with that. It's really horrible. I want you to make me a willpower. I won't make you let go if you fail. Don't worry.
I pass. I got 2 success levels.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you are unfazed by this in the moment. You have a job to do and you're doing it.
I've seen worse things than you in Wayberg.
No, I won't make you do that because you succeeded the willpower. Rest of the group, you see Boniface against the side of the tunnel, holding this creature up by the arms. Its legs are basically dangling against the tunnel wall, and it's spitting and slavering and looking around and madly writhing to get away without any success.
I think it's still alive, my lord.
Clearly. Yeah, I'd rush over with my hammer raised, but not strike, just sort of prepped to to give it a good bop if things get out of hand.
Okay. I think if your like hammer is raised and you're looking at its face, it stops trying to fight. It's just screeching and making small, like pitiful whining noises. It's like, it's pretty beat up as well. It's not a happy creature, and it's definitely malnourished. Now you get a close look at it if you want to do anything else, or you can try and talk to it.
I mean, well, it's a rat. I don't.
You heard something talk earlier.
I think I'll be waiting for Henrik to just like, I don't know what's going on here.
Henrik's trying to figure out which question to ask first.
Great.
Are you staying in the tunnel as you are? Or are you going to go anywhere at this moment?
I think we should leave.
With this creature?
Yes.
Where to?
There's that warehouse just around the corner that me and Henrik were in. Let's go.
Okay. Well,
This thing's wriggling an awful lot. I don't know how much longer I can hold it.
Is someone going to grab as well, I presume, then? And between the two of you, manhandle this.
Okri, take his
I
feet.
will. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. I won't make you make a check. There's all 4 of you watching the thing now. You crawl back out of the hole. You push some stones out of the way to make it so it's a bit easier this time, you know, and to get the thing out as well. Between
Gotta
you,
be
it's worth
careful
saying
around that spike pit, though.
it's really horrible holding this thing at all. It's not, you know, not a fun time, but you're gripping it nonetheless. And yeah, you march your way up to the warehouse. You don't see anyone along the dockside for the short trip you're there. Perhaps thankfully, perhaps not. It's up to you. It's dark anyway. You don't notice anyone watching you. And before a moment's passed, the open doors of the empty warehouse are right in front of you, and you tramp inside. And by the light of the torch, you can see, well, a few empty boxes and a big old empty warehouse with no one inside. What are you gonna do?
This is the ugliest thing I've ever seen.
It seems to have kind of given up to a certain extent trying to escape, but is still just making pitiful noises and screeching quietly.
I think I'll fish around in my pocket and sort of, I'll be looking at the note and then looking at this thing and reading the note again.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll hold it out and I'll say, is this you? Did you write this?
The creature's just going, looking around, not really showing any evidence of recognition.
We know you can talk.
Same reaction.
Rinda,
Oh dear.
Rinda is at your heel, slavering away. The creature's like,
now, either you speak with whatever words we can understand, or my dog here eats very well tonight.
it's time for me to make a roll.
Is there an intimidate? There's intimidate skill, isn't there?
I don't think you need to make that roll. You succeed.
Does Rinda need to make that roll?
No, you succeed. They don't have high willpower anyway. This creature would give you everything it can. Okay, what I'm rolling for is intelligence, if you want to know. And the creature just goes, no, speak. And then it doesn't say anything else, looks around confused.
I think it's trying to say it doesn't speak.
It just did, though.
Just prove itself wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that was clearly a trap. So who... Right. Who...
Why us?
And how... Yes. And how did they know... How did they know about us? Why was this note pushed under my door? I've no idea what these things are.
The skinny, ratty little creature, literally ratty, goes, don't, no!
Well, who does?
Nitwit knows.
And who is Nitwit?
Nitwit was there.
And where is Nitwit now?
Fled with the others. Sensible ones.
If we follow that tunnel, do we get to Nitwit?
Yeah, yes. Go down tunnel.
And how many others? How many wretched little rat creatures like you are there waiting to
what.
jump out on us?
Make an intimidate at this roll.
Intimidate is not great.
Boniface is happy to intimidate.
You've got a plus 40 for Rinda.
That's fair. That is 2 success levels.
Okay. I think the creature looks around a lot and then goes, don't know words. Many.
But Lord,
Why do we have to capture one of the stupid ones.
If I'm honest, I don't believe that Sigmar would allow me to permit this thing to live. One of us is going to have to crush its little skull and we'll dump it in the river.
Please, no. I can talk. I can get you meeting.
Well, one that isn't a trap. I would hope.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm skeptical of that. I've never taken a rat at its word, and I have no intention to start.
I think I'm going to kind of look at Henrik, like, thinking, how many rats do you think have spoken to you?
Yeah,
I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, fair.
I'm just going to look.
How much did we drink yesterday?
Yeah.
I don't know. Clearly they were after us for some reason. I don't know.
The creature goes, hey, gold. You want? I can get.
No.
Sudden. Oh, okay. I mean, I appreciate you. Yes, drive, I guess.
If you have no information for us, I have no use for you. If Nitwit wants to find us, I'm sure Nitwit can find us.
I only know what I'm told. We were told to get you, dig hole, kill you. You know things about things.
What do we know about?
I don't know. It's not. I just know what I'm told. Please, don't hurt me.
Boniface, would you like to do the honors?
It feels bad to crush it. It hasn't got a chance. Can't we at least like toss it a knife or something?
It's got claws and teeth.
Oh, just now it comes to it. I'd rather not, if I'm honest.
Yes, kind, please.
Shut up. Kick it.
I draw my sword, and if no one stops me, which I will, if people say anything and make a move to stop me, Henrik might pause.
Mm-hmm.
But if no one says anything, Henrik's gonna.
Mm-hmm. Who's holding the creature?
I think we're all. I mean, I'm definitely
was-
holding it. I'm not feeling great about it, but I'm holding
Yeah,
it.
it was me and Boniface.
Okay, Boniface and Okri both make me a strength roll of +40.
Oof. Plus 40. Yeah, I'm fine. Got a lot of success levels.
Also, a lot of success levels.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I just thought I'd do it for fun.
You got
The
two
creature,
super
the
strong
creature, like
creatures.
kicks up as hard as it can off the ground to try and escape this blade that's clearly heading for its heart, with no success whatsoever. You hold it firm, and Henrik sticks it right through, and it stops moving with an unpleasant sounding.
That was rough.
Black, disgusting blood pours down your blade, Henrik.
Gross.
Who was holding the creature, by the way?
I think me.
I think
Yeah, me
Boniface and
and
Okri were the
Okri.
ones who touched it. Could you both make me endurance rolls, please?
Endurance rolls.
Plus 20.
Yeah, I needed 76 and I got 19, so I'm golden.
I'm gonna do another one of those fortune rolls. I can't seem to spend my fortune. Every time I try and spend it, the sheet corrects it back to.
Well,
I have that. I have to
the
keep a
spell
note
amount.
further down, like in my
Yeah,
notes sections.
that's
how
what I'm
many
doing.
I've
'Cause I was like, I was sure I'd spent some.
that's annoying.
Crafty.
Oh yeah, it auto calculates off fate. So I basically.
Oh yeah. That's so dumb. Shame.
Yeah. I should probably do the other thing.
If
I
you
just thought I
want,
was
you
getting
could
really
keep a
bad
note.
at keeping track of it.
If you want, you could keep a note of your fate, and because your fate's barely ever going to change, and then decrease fate and fortune together, because that's the one you want to use regularly.
Well, either way, I'm going to re-roll.
Mm-hmm.
Is this your first reroll or your second?
Oh,
Yeah, only one. Only one.
Yeah, not good. I got
Okay.
87. I needed to get 45 or something. So, was there any pluses or anything? Or
It was a plus 20, so not enough.
plus 20.
Wow.
So it was 65 I needed to get. So minus 2 success levels.
Mm-hmm.
You got some in your mouth.
Absolutely nothing happens right now.
But I do have
Right
pure
now.
soul,
Mm-hmm.
which
What? Sorry?
which means I do have pure soul, which means I
Pure
can
soul.
get extra. It's my talent, which means I can get extra corruption points
Right.
before having to test to see if I become corrupt.
This isn't corruption.
Okay, cool.
I never thought I'd hear Boniface and Pure Soul in the same
That's why I
sentence.
didn't want to kill it. That's why I couldn't go through it in the end. I was
Okay,
like,
right.
my
That
character's
makes
got this
sense,
talent,
yeah.
and I probably should roleplay to it.
Okay,
Fair.
yeah.
I also
That's
love the
fair.
idea that you're kind of you talk kind of hard, but then when it comes to it,
I mean, I would if you'd given it a knife, I'd have run it through. But like, it just seemed like it was unfair.
give this little horrible rat a knife, proceeds to like wipe the whole team.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, it's dead. It flops to the floor as you both let go of it.
Well, I'll let out a sigh and sort of look around and what's going on? What is that?
I don't know. But I think we should dump it in the river.
Henrik, you do know of what it is vaguely, no matter how much you say you don't. It's up to you if you talk about that.
I mean, we have finally learnt something that we are not supposed to know.
And what is that?
We have uncovered a conspiracy of darkness that lies at the heart of the Empire.
It's just some big rats, isn't it? Is there any reason to think that this is a conspiracy?
I mean, I'm not sure what we know. That they said they knew something.
I have been gathering evidence of the existence of something like this for years. There are these here, the sewers, the under sewers in Altdorf are full of them. I have reason to believe they have been dictating events in our society. And I think we have evidence of that. You heard the way they speak? With double words?
Oh, yes. Now then, Sam,
As
back
Henrik
in the
says that,
chapel.
you remember?
Yeah.
The girl, Uli, mentioned that what thing she heard talking to that person in the tent spoke with double words. And the description sounded kind of similar to what they sounded like.
So that means, and in the same conversation, Helsknecht was mentioned. Yes.
Yes.
Oh. Well.
Further evidence that the rats have been leading influence over the nobles themselves.
Well, that is concerning. That is. would explain why Warland wasn't being protected, and we need to talk to the Graf. Then we need to warn them that.
Assuming he's not also influenced.
True, but I guess we've only heard what Boniface had to say, but the Graf seemed angry with Helsknecht's behavior. Would that not mean that they were on opposing sides? I guess we don't have much to go on, but...
Unless he believes that Helsknecht is being too obvious about the control. Honestly, I don't know.
Well, what do we do now? Do we have this body?
Those rats were willing to kill us for knowing basically nothing, and now we know at least double that.
Yes,
and
they're not
have
very
said
smart,
it out
are they?
loud.
Are they
And I
such a
think,
threat?
well, this one, as I said, looks over to the river. Well, then I'll just dump it in the river.
You don't wish to keep the body to display to...
What? While this conversation is going on in the warehouse, you hear a shout from out the front. Someone in there?
If you dump it, I've got this.
Are you sure?
Yeah, wiping the blood on my coat.
Yeah.
I'll assist with the rat dumping.
Cool. Okay. Well, just for a quick, give me a quick strength roll for the two of you. I'm sure this will be fine. It's going to be plus 40, but just in case there's some hilarious catastrophe with the rat.
Just a weekend of doing stuff with the rats.
Oh my god.
Oh no, I'm okay. I
Plus
rolled
40.
71. I was worried, but my strength is 43, so it's fine.
Yeah.
I like
pretty-
Lally does. He's not dead. He's
Henrik?
alive, rat. He's
I
alive,
don't make
rat.
Okay, Henrik doesn't make it. So go on. What were you going to say, John?
I was going to say I don't make it. I'm one success level under.
Okay, so I'm going to say Henrik kind of is clearly too deep in thought about what this means, and is kind of lifting but not really paying attention to where you're going. So it's kind of as much a hindrance as a help for you, Okri. So you're only kind of half out of view by the time someone comes around the front to see Boniface. Boniface, what are you doing? Are you going to try and immediately distract them?
Who is
It's a
this
guard.
person? A guard.
They come around the corner, and it looks like one of the guards dressed in the plate armor, big old halberd, just looking around. They look a bit bored. They just heard some noises.
I'm basically going to try and play it off as I found an empty warehouse and I'm a teenager up to no good, just wandering around, kicking around.
Cool.
Like, I like abandoned buildings because they make me feel edgy.
Okay.
I'm going to try and do that with a charm roll if that's what I'm aiming for. Like, kind of, I've just been a rascal.
That's absolutely fine. Go for that charm roll. I'm going to say flat when it's no bonus because you are covered in blood and there's other people doing things behind you. But...
Wow, shucks, just covered in blood. Well, I would hope that they're the only one I can see, but I guess it doesn't go well. I rolled a 72. I needed to get 40, and I'm not spending my last fortune point on it.
Still another session with these fortunes.
Henrik and I are just moving sacks of grain, so I don't see an issue.
It's dark. It is dark. You got a point. So you're playing it off that you're just up to no good, and the guard.
I'm just out.
She's quite a tall woman. She looks down at the blood on your top, and then looks behind you and goes, "Who else is here?" Kind of clearly clocking that you're there. Kruger, are you standing there with the torch, or have you put it out hearing the voice? Be honest. Have you thought of it? I mean, it's up to you.
No, I'd have been there with a torch.
Well, in that case, she clearly sees Kruger. It's at least Okri and Henrik have moved away a bit, but she's looking at you, Kruger. I have to roll a perception for her.
Could you see the man standing with a torch alone in the dark
No,
warehouse?
can't you see the others? Okay. Yeah, so she sees you, Kruger, and she's looking at you saying, "Who else is back there?" And then she looks across to straight into Okri's eyes and goes, "And what are you two doing?"
How far are we from
Dumping
where we're
this
trying
rat.
to dump this rat?
You're aiming for like a side door that you can see, which is closed, so you don't even know if it's unlocked. But hopefully it is. But behind that should be basically immediately the dock front. It's
I'm
like the door
just
is
going
like
to continue
Yeah,
to keep
just keep
moving
going.
unless
Yeah, the door's
Henrik
like
says
20 feet away.
anything.
cool.
I'm-
Okay.
Going
Cool.
to continue moving, but also call back rat catcher.
That's
Okay,
actually pretty good.
that's
Actually, I like this line.
Yeah. She goes, what's that? And you're still going towards the door, so she's not like making a move to stop you.
Bag
But
full
that
of dead
doesn't-
rats.
Bag of rats.
So,
Boniface says it like this.
it's a lot of rats.
Yeah.
Whoosh. I thought you said you were a kid looking at Boniface.
I am a kid.
What are you doing with the rat catchers here?
He just wandered in.
Learning.
He don't look like a rat catcher. He look like some noble.
He's not with us.
He's the guard.
Well, what are you doing here then?
Jesus.
She didn't hear you say that, Henrik. She talked over you.
Like, can't four men be out at night and abandon my house with a bunch of dead rats?
Well,
Let's
look,
go to
I'm
this
sorry.
country.
Look at this blood all over you. That's not
I
rat
got
catching normal
rats all
to
over me. Like,
I'm gonna. Yeah, I'll stride up behind Boniface and clip him round the head and say,
Oh.
"I'm sorry, my servant here is a compulsive liar."
And what are you going to say?
Yes, there was a disturbance in here. We heard a disturbance, a significant rat problem that my colleague has dealt with. There's nothing more to. We're just dealing with the remains now, so it's the situation has been resolved.
Roll me a charm.
I don't know whether I have charm.
Plus 20 good case. It's a basic skill.
Charm 29. Okay. Okay. Let's see how this goes.
If this passes, you're through the door, Ockery.
Ooh, I rolled a 9. I rolled a 9.
She is listening and, at least for the moment, persuaded and doesn't seem to say anything more about Ockery leaving the back door. Ockery, the door is unlocked and you can push it open. And Henrik is now actively helping you. And a moment later, you don't see anyone else by the docks. You go down a pier and you dump the body over the waterside. It sinks into the muck at the bottom of the river. The guard at the front, the guard at the front of the warehouse stands there with her halberd and goes, "All right, well, whatever. Get yourself cleaned up. You stink," she says, looking at Boniface. My lord, take care.
I will nod and sort of.
Dark night and all that. Speaking of that, what's the weather like? Oh, it's actually quite a storm going tonight. So yeah, she's right. There's a distant thunder, heavy rain.
I sort of wash the muck off.
as the guard leaves, I go, "Oh, so I didn't know you had it in you."
Don't make my life difficult, Boniface.
Should never have sat on that rat.
It wasn't quite a lie.
We are up to no good.
There
And
was
we
a
did
rat.
have a bag of rats.
Rat
It was
bag.
just, the whole bag was one rat.
We need to decide whether Gehenna Goose is safe for us to sleep in.
Well, they found us there. How did they find out? Either they
Well, if-
have. Go on, sorry.
If there are powerful people involved in this, then there's no reason that they wouldn't find us if we went elsewhere.
And it's a city. There are rats everywhere.
Except maybe where there are cats.
Any ideas?
Right? Maybe there's somewhere that's got a lot of cats or dogs or something else that rats don't like. Stay above, I don't know, a fishing warehouse, like like a.
Are you
Something
feeling
like
all right, Boniface?
No, I've got of blood.
It's a good idea, actually.
Henrik,
Is
roll
it?
me an intuition. No, you know what? Roll me a charm animal. Screw it. Why not? This is animal-y knowledge.
There. 14, so 2 success levels.
It was a base, so very nice. You're thinking about what rats hate. Particularly, one of the things you note is that the higher up you go, the less rats you get, because they like to burrow into the ground, particularly beneath buildings. So if you're upstairs or off another flight of stairs, that's one of the best protections against rats. Other animals, dogs, particularly stop rats, cats, if you've got a lot of them, stop rats, obviously. You don't know if cats are going to stop rats this big. Dogs might, though. You're thinking of maybe there is like a pound in Grunberg, if you only give a place to sleep, though. You can't think offhand where else you find lots of dogs.
There's no zoo around here, is there?
You can't see, assuming that Gehenna's goose is, because you were upstairs in Gehenna's goose as well, you feel like, given the place and given that it was upstairs and given your knowledge of the rats and their sway, you reckon it wasn't one of them that put it under the door last night. You reckon it was a person.
Oh.
Ooh.
Well, that's a different kettle of fish. Well, who would have done that? That was the night after
I don't know if Henrik's mentioned this yet. No one else assumed.
Should we make our way back to somewhere? Back to the
I
yes.
assume you're kind of walking away from the warehouse now. That's all good. The guard is giving you like sideways look as you walk off, but not many other people are around. It's quiet. Yeah, Henrik, did you mention that?
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe the trap was meant for them, and they got caught in it. We didn't turn up. Maybe.
Well, didn't the note have my name on it?
Sure,
but
we never ended up meeting
door?
anyone.
I think it was just pushed under your door. I don't think it had your name specifically on it, to be fair.
Maybe it was a person who gave it to us. They wanted to meet us, and then all of a sudden, the rats are coincidence.
Maybe, but it still feels rather targeted.
I might know someone who would be able to put us in the vicinity of a large amount of cats. But if it was a person that put the note under Kruger's door, we might be fine at the goose.
Well, we know to be suspicious of meeting requests from now on. Perhaps we can use it to our advantage and lay in wait and see whether we're followed or whether any new notes appear. Try and catch them in the act.
Seems like there is no argument against the goose, so presumably that's where you're headed. Not thinking of anywhere else.
Yeah.
So you pass round the. It's now probably nearly midnight. I can't get up in time.
I would wash my Warhammer, I think, in the river.
Yeah, that's fair.
Or in the storm.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah.
Is there anything else anyone wants to do on the way?
Not really.
Cool. Okay. Well, there's one little thing I want to do here. So if you could just give me 1 second, because this is a fun thing. Unfortunately, it means I have to open a link on my thingy. So, but yeah, it's a quiet night. As I say, no one particularly pays you any attention now. You get a few strange looks because you're all mucky and covered in blood, but that's washing off quite quick in the storm, which is honestly nice given where you were and the stink. Like all those tunnels just stank. But out here, this is pretty pleasant, really. Okay, so here, this is one of my really nerdy Warhammer things that I'm enjoying doing. I've kept track of the date of the game.
All right.
It is the 27th Flugsite, and that day has an associated moon table. And this can matter.
Okay.
Because
This can matter.
Because of the bad moon.
What? The what?
There's two moons in the Warhammer universe. Moresleeve and Mansleeve. Mansleeve is the regular moon. Moresleeve is the bad moon. And very rarely appears in the night sky. But when it does appear, bad stuff happens.
Oh, great.
Entirely outside of your knowledge, there's a joke about the moon being made of cheese because the rats are obsessed with it. It's not made of cheese, but it is made of something they're obsessed with.
Moon stuff?
Oh.
Yeah. That's what it is. It's so silly. But the bad moon is not out.
So, can I say what it's actually made of? Because I'm assuming it's not going to be a plot point. It might be a plot point. I don't know.
Don't say it.
Okay.
Don't say it, John.
I mean, that's not really a spoiler because it doesn't really tell you anything. But I might use it at some point.
That's fair.
We can chat
I'm
about
intrigued.
it anyway.
I have no knowledge about this thing whatsoever.
That's great. I
so
like
I'm
playing mostly
entirely in the dark.
Anyway, in the dark, rainy streets of Grunberg, you round the corner to the Gehenna's Goose and walk up the steps and enter. And inside, the bar is closed up. It is quiet, but in the dim lantern light, you hear and see the snoring Dowie once again. You can roll me a perception if you like, if anyone's paying attention to them, or if you're not just marching on by.
Yes,
I think
we were promised drinks.
Straight perception.
I will also
no.
be looking at them carefully as I pass to see whether or not they're looking at me disapprovingly.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled a 12 out of 31.
This was perception, wasn't it?
I'm not rolling, by the way, just so you know.
That's all good.
Oh, I rolled 23 and a 24, so I actually make it. Oh, I've probably taken the helmet off.
Yeah, fair.
By this
So you would
point.
make it. Definitely make it.
Yeah.
So Kruger and Okra, you notice two of the Dowie are asleep. The third, the same oldest of the three with the huge beard, is still smoking in the corner. The dim light of the kind of embers in the pipe just lighting up the face and their chin ever so slightly. Not you can see another mountain of beard coming from their face. And you could see the twinkle of their dark eyes from kind of in the big hairy face. You can barely see the little eyes. Definitely watching you as you walk in.
I will nod politely.
I think I would probably nod and say I hope your day was productive. We had an interesting evening with some complications.
I think there's a long pause, which makes you wonder if you're going to get any reply or not. And then the old Dowie in the corner just goes, "No, not very productive."
That is a shame.
And then you hear a that stench. I know that. What did you say you've been doing?
I'm half wondering whether to make a joke about Boniface, but I don't think I will. We were invited. You were so close. You were so close until anyway. Yes, we were invited to a meeting, and I'll sort of fish out the scrap of paper and toss it on the table. Only we weren't met by anybody that was particularly helpful. We were
Thagoraki. Creatures underneath, eh?
That's them.
good, because I wasn't gonna know what that was.
You don't know what Thagoraki is. You have never heard that word before,
No,
by the way.
no.
But presumably it's their word for it, you could assume.
I think
He
Boniface
mentioned it
assumed
in
means
passing
giant
last
rat.
night.
Oh, he did,
Yeah.
didn't he? You're right.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. So in that case, yes.
We appear to have drawn their ire.
Careful with your fellow Ungi. Okri, you know that means human. The others, you can roll a dice for it if you know or not. It's up to you. Or you could just assume.
Yes.
They don't like talking about them.
No, I know.
Could get you killed.
I got several of them killed, so...
He doesn't just mean by the rats, Kruger.
Oh. What?
She said it could be dangerous to know.
Well, I don't know what that leaves us then, because we can't leave things the way they are, surely. And now we know anyway, so...
Nay, didn't say nothing. Just things need to be taken carefully. Else we's come back and you all dead. Don't much fancy that. Seem like good sorts.
Thank you.
There's a slight
Well,
nod.
Well, our colleagues we were discussing what to do next, and honestly, I'm at something of a loss.
Up to you. You can stay here. Try and talk things out with your lords and that. Or go into belly of the beast, as they say. Other Dowie will come. More to Skazmingol than here. But perhaps they could lend aid. Things going wrong for Ungi spreads to mountains eventually. We don't need that. Time will have to pass, though. Could come with, if you wanted, to the mountains with us. We're heading to Skazmingol tomorrow.
We can find out more about this dark discovery.
I'll have to talk to the others, perhaps.
We do owe an explanation to the folks at Warlin, if possible. Were you able to speak to anybody like the Graf, or we're wondering whether...
Met them all.
Oh, okay.
Graf seemed decent sort. Not sure about that Baron you warned us about. Angry man. Not bad, just full of wrath.
Well, and I'll look around now after Henrik's paranoia is rubbing off. Yes, we overheard this. We had a scrap of information from one of those rats. We think they're controlling him in some way. We were wondering whether it had spread, but perhaps if you think the Graf is reasonable, perhaps it is not. Perhaps.
Don't know much about that, but look at it this way. There's nothing they can do to take over someone's mind. If they've done it by getting something he wants. Maybe he's a good man and they've tricked him. Maybe he's not and they've bought him. I don't know. Doesn't do no good for Dowie to turn up to an Ungi city, though, And tell them that now, does it?
No, I imagine not. And unless we're able to convince the Graf, I guess, then I don't think we're not in a particularly strong position either. Unless we have incontrovertible proof.
I'd stay, but we've agreed. We'll be at Skazmingol 2 days from now. If we don't leave by morning, we won't.
Mm.
Can't go back on the word. Sorry. Can come with, as I said, or we'll offer our aid when we can if you stay. Up to you.
Well,
Decide in the morning if you like.
Yeah, I can see that perhaps leaving this place temporarily would, it'd take us off the map, so to speak. Perhaps that might be sensible.
And if there may be more at Skazmingol that could help us.
Yes.
Can't tell others what to do, but I wouldn't be surprised. No love for Thagaraki anywhere. At least they're easy to kill, eh? There's a small chuckle.
Yes.
When they don't run.
Cowards, always. Never a fair fight.
The ones we found were quite fragile, though.
You don't know when the other two Dowie woke up, but the woman looks up and goes, "Ha ha! Looks like you've all had fun then."
Some of us more than others, I think. And I will glance at Boniface and...
Boniface yawns. It's late, sir.
As it is. Well, perhaps we should reconvene in the morning and make our final decision then. But yes, perhaps.
I'd certainly like to wash this filth off. I would be more than happy to spend some time with the Dowie.
I would be more than willing to learn whatever you would be willing to tell me about the Thavaraki.
Butchered pronunciation.
It doesn't help that John has forgotten it. Like,
Yeah.
you know, the thing when you forget half of it, but you remember with the rough rhythm of the word.
Yeah.
Thagaraki?
That's the one.
Probably said something very, very rude.
I apologise to all Darby out there who I may have insulted.
Okay, I think I'm back. Sorry, my
Are you
internet
back?
was
Cool.
going horribly then.
Wow.
No, I
Yes.
just wasn't moving. The sound was just...
Oh, great.
That was all I
Cool.
was hearing with you, so I thought I wouldn't
Yeah.
talk. 'Cause
But I think the gist of it was we're going on an adventure.
sounds good. I don't think anything else is immediately said this evening. Are you just going to head upstairs then? Nothing else to them?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Cool. Okey-doke.
Maybe I might mention to Kruger before I go, it might be worth getting me a proper set of servants' gear if I'm going to be turning up at a dwarven hall, so it might be worth me getting some proper livery before we go. I can get it in the morning if you like.
Well, if you've got the coin, I don't have much.
Surely there's enough in the back bay.
As long as it's under, what was it, 3 silver or something? That was
3
the
silver.
agreement we
What
had.
does 3 silver get you?
I know, not
Anyway.
What I'm trying to say is I might take a class level promotion before we get there.
Okay,
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense.
that would work.
Cool. You all settled out. Are you all back in your own rooms, or was there any other plan for the night? I know you mentioned vaguely.
How's Rinda at guarding corridors or otherwise?
Not as good as
He tends to just
Boniface.
fall asleep. Unless he knows there are rats there, he won't stay
Right.
awake for it.
What's the plan? Are you all, I mean, you're all pretty tired. Are you all just going straight to
Yeah,
bed?
just go to sleep. I think. Yeah.
It's all good. I don't mind.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Bathing where needed.
Mm.
Could everyone in the night make me a -10 perception roll, please?
Oh no. That's inconvenient. Oh.
2 success levels of success.
And Kruger?
Well, my perception level is 24. I rolled an 11, so I don't know whether you get crits. So you don't get crits on standard rolls, do you? Not like double crits.
Okay, since 2 of you passed, I'm going to have to roll a bit of dice here. Don't mind me. Okay, so that's 1, 2. And then, okay, it's worked in that order. Then, okay, so, sorry, a bit awkward. Henrik, could you roll a endurance for me? Flat.
Okay.
Intriguing.
I'm going to spend a fortune.
Next session's going to be barren.
Henrik, it's fine. You're not dead. Don't worry.
I rolled a 98, but I would also like to remind you that I do have resistance to disease. Just in case.
Jesus.
Just in case that happens.
That's just diseases, right? Not toxins.
That's what John
I
said.
have to ask
Oh,
now, and I'm
dear.
spoilering, but it has to
Oh,
Yeah,
happen.
dear.
resistance to disease.
Okay, well, you rolled a critical, so nothing happens. Okri, you please roll me a endurance. I actually rolled in this order, the runes. So,
This is just flat.
Yeah, but you get a plus 20 for being a Dowie.
Okay. Yes, I needed 76 and I rolled 48.
Okay. Nothing happens to you as well. We will find out. And then Kruger,
Right.
you are awakened in the night by someone moving around in your room.
Oh dear.
Oh, great.
And we'll end the session there.
Ah.
Sorry, I know you can act, but it makes sense for it to be next session. And those rolls of you two did matter, by the way. Don't worry. I mean, you know they did, but I've noted it down. Just
Wow.
suspense what they mean for next session.
Wow.
Cool. Thanks very much, Sam.
Yeah,
That was a great
cool.
session.
I enjoyed
I
that.
like the old dwarf. He's good.
Oh yeah, I'm having fun with my dwarves. I've been practicing them a little bit between and looking forward to.
No, it shows. They're really good.
I enjoyed my Skaven too. I wasn't expecting that much Skaven interaction. That
Yeah. It's like the party that caught the car, or the
like
rat
it
in
was going to be
space.
hard to catch them. You did a good job with it. So
But John's
I
dice.
know I
rolls
did a
tonight.
good job, and yet
So bad.
will I solve my agenda for getting Kruger's approval?
You
No.
were so close,
So
and then you
close.
had to blow
We're
it with
gonna
a
do a
crappy
perfect session.
excuse.
oh, that was so funny. Henrik just leaping in. So I had loads of options for this session, and none of them included leaping down the tunnel. I don't know why I didn't think that would happen, but none of them did. So it's great. I love it.
I saw a rat. I saw a rat hole. I'm a rat catcher. I
got
clear
some-
the rat holes.
You've got to set a good example for Rinda, otherwise, how's he gonna learn?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
How many success levels do you got? You got 2 success levels on your perception, right, Boniface?
Yeah.
So I think you're going to be. I'm not just making my notes for next session. I think
Yeah.
you're also awakened by Kruger moving around, just as
I think-
as a thing for next session.
I think in the past I probably told Kruger that I will sleep at the bottom. I will sleep at in the footwell of his door if he wants me to. And he's always gone, "That's ridiculous." But after this, I'm like, "I told you, sir. Remember that time you had to sleep there?"
yeah.
All I could say is I definitely know what skill I'm spending all of my experience on between now and next session.
Yeah, but do we need to cover because have we
Will we be
mentioned the rules for will we be you slept a bit clearly.
Yeah. The
I mean, I
rules
didn't
for
wake up.
spending XP. Yeah. Henrik
You
had a
might
lullaby.
I had a good night's sleep.
I mean, I think I would actually take that argument, to be honest. It's the one bonus of rolling on 98. We'll find out what happens anyway. You'll see if you get a good night's sleep or not next session. But right now, don't assume you can spend XP.
Okay.
If you get a good night's sleep, and spend XP. Cool. I've noted down the results of those rolls, so we're all good. Cool. Did we have any? I'll do sign off, and then we can do names and things, I suppose. Thanks very much for joining us. That was super fun, folks. I'm glad to get back into Warhammer. I'm looking forward to more Warhammer because this is great. I finally got to reveal some fun things in this session, but there's still plenty more to come. So yeah. Thanks for watching Telling Tales. We're on Twitch and YouTube, and we do this on Mondays. not
Into
Sim
the
Brew,
Odd on
Into the Odd
Wednesdays.
on Wednesdays, and the Dance on Thursdays. Both of those off this week, but they will be back, run by Matt. And we do one shots every month. Just had one, be one next month. Don't know what it is. Go check out all our stuff on YouTube. There's tons, and social medias below. Is that like our Steve or some other Steve who subscribed?
This is the Steve, yes.
Oh, good job, Steve.
There's a Steve.
Thank you,
who's
Steve.
called-
Well done,
well,
Steve.
there's this person called Azimuth who's subscribed to Prime for 20 months. And otherwise, we want there's a few comments that have anyone's that people think
Anyone
fun.
throw up?
Yeah, that was good.
I know. I did like that. Although to be fair, you have just seen them like underneath the city in a significant number. It's quite weird, but
I think I was 50-50 with Boniface to just be
Also-
like, no, don't
also
believe it.
to be fair, everyone but Kruger has probably heard children's stories and tales and people saying it's one of those things where you're like, it's probably not right, or someone's like, no, don't talk about that sort of thing. So you're probably quite willing to believe it, even if you think that's maybe a bad idea. Kruger's like, what's this?
In a world with literal magic, anything can happen.
I think people might start getting a bit skeptic about the exact extent of the rat Illuminati that Henrik believes in. But just the idea of a secret society of rats is probably...
That reminds me, if you need any resolve back there, Henrik, you get it for driving your conspiracy theorist motivations, because that was 100% doing that session.
It was
Oh, wait,
it was
no,
a
I
wonderful hard pivot from we've just seen a talking rat to, oh my god, they're everywhere under everything. Just the line he came out with, John, was so beautifully sort of just askew.
It was good.
I can't even remember what I said, but
Cool. Anything else?
Thanks.
any others? I liked this one from Jonny.
Yeah, I thought I was good.
It'll start with sort of like 60,000 words on holidays that Kruger's been on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, beasts
And
that he's killed,
eventually
probably.
Halfway down that, you get the required materials.
Yeah, materials.
Then another holiday story. Then
All
the
the other
method
beasts.
for upcycling the wall.
I'll tell you what, you can tick off another evil creature that you've killed now, Kruger. So that's a nice thing. Always got to try all the different creatures.
What to see which one he likes best.
I don't think it's these ones.
I mean, they do make a nice crunch sound.
That's true, and they did crunch all night. It's just a shame they're all diseased and disgusting. It'd be nice to fight something that's not disgusting for a change.
Yes. Yes.
Next campaign, Nurgle fighting.
It's always Nurgle.
That would be 1,000 times worse than this. That would be like in the vicinity of, I can't see because my face is choked with flies sort of thing. I kind of want to roleplay that, but I feel like it's almost too manky to roleplay.
Why can't we fight like Zinch or someone?
I'm gonna, I actually genuinely want to do this. Roll a 4-way dice roll to see which Chaos God I'm gonna have in the game, because I'm gonna put it in at some point, and I want to just randomly.
The
decide
way
it,
that
just
you
for the
run
fun.
games is this equivalent of a Chaos God. It's just, it's just.
I can't. I'm not doing you down, but I'm not
the
sure
fourth
how
one,
comfortable
yeah.
I would be with like a Slanesh.
You just
led
don't
story.
go. You just don't go down the weird sexy line. You do the other side.
That's
all about
Slanesh.
excess.
That is
No,
Slanesh. Yeah.
Slanesh is excess. Everyone thinks Slanesh is just prostitutes. It's not.
Hey, look,
Slanesh is
it's
about
not
excess.
just sex that Celeste is all about.
You can have a Slanesh story. It's entirely about people who are just like really obese and obsessed with food. That's like a thing. You can have anything in excess. It could be someone who's like intensely obsessed with like being
catching rats.
I was going to say, yeah.
It can be excessive anything. Like
We're not allowed to fight Zinch.
okay, only level Zinch. You're all going to turn into Zinch worshippers. Got it. Makes sense.
Fine, I
And
guess.
also, thanks to the first time chat exclamation.
It is
we
great
know who the
fun.
Zinch worshipper in our chat is now.
Yeah, I'm loving this. This is
wait,
great
no,
fun.
a Zinch worshipper would just. Oh god, I don't know what they would say, but they wouldn't say that, would they? Maybe they would just to fool us to make us. Oh.
All right, okay. Let's leave this speculation for next time.
I can see how I'm going to have to go off and do some reading on this.
I know. No, there's
too many
tons of
unknown terms.
It's so much fun. It's so much fun.
Sexy
Anyway.
obesity god, you say?
Thanks for joining us, folks. We're going to end it there.
Yeah, that sounds like a good place to end it.
Take care, everyone. We'll look forward to seeing you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye for now.